Okay, today I want to cover a topic that I'm never really satisfied the way it's covered on the internet, so I'm going to cover it today. And that's how to balance the arm on your Technics deck. Not for scratching, but just for normal playback, for like, mixing, whatever. I'm not going to cover how you mount your cart or anything. I'm just going to cover how to balance the deck. Okay, so yeah, this is an overhand gauge, by the way. You might want it if you've got one of these type of carts that need headshell mounting. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to stick this on the arm of the deck somehow, if I can, with one hand. Don't over tighten this as well, just have it nice and snug, but don't over tighten it so you can damage it. Right, okay, so next up, this is the other thing I want to talk about. This is the counterweight, and if you can see the inner ring, that moves. We'll talk about that later. Okay, and on your arm, you got an auxiliary weight on your 1200 or 1210. Take it off. It's just an extra weight here. If you got light cartridges, I think, I can't remember now. So make sure that obviously your arm is clipped. Your anti-skating is at 0, and slowly feed this in. Right, stick a record on there, preferably a crap one or a blank one like I've got here. It's got nothing on it, it's just an empty record, one-sided, and carefully unlock the clip on the turntable. Right, so now I'm going to put the camera down here, and I'm going to talk you through it. Somehow trying to get the best picture here. Right, so obviously we just screwed that in, the weight in there, and at the moment it's too heavy. What we want to do is to float it first, so just ease back on the weight until it starts floating. There you go. And what you want to do, see at the moment it's sticking up too much. What you want to do is preferably is level it so it's floating, but it's floating straight. Right, so just bear with me as I do this. Just a tiny bit more weight. I think that looks pretty level to me. It's best if you look at it from where the camera's looking, on the side. But that looks alright to me from here. And that's floating, if you can see that, that's floating. And that looks pretty level to me. So obviously that's showing gobbledygook there. It's just over 1.5, which is useless. So what we want to do is put the arm back, lock it into place, and if you see, this ring here is independent to the weight. So if you could hold the weight while you do this and then change that to point at 0. So hold and change. So now we're zeroed, and we've got 0 on the anti-skating, and general rule, the height should be set so the arm is level on the record when it's on. So now I'm going to set it to what my cartridge needs, which this Autofon works at 3 grams, which I know is a bit heavy if you're from hi-fi, but hey. So right, that's at 4. If I stick this on there, it looks reasonably level. Okay, so next up is your anti-skating. So if I press play without any anti-skating, it should go right that way, because the centrifugal force will pull it in. And what anti-skating does is combat that. The reason why you'd combat that is because you'd have more wear on that groove instead of the other groove, the left groove. You'd have more wear on the right because it's pulling it inwards. So that's what the anti-skating does, is combat that. So generally anti-skating should be set to what your weight is set at 3, but generally set it by well, it's always different in there. So I like to set mine up at around 2.5. The best way to set it was a calibration record. I don't have one of them, they're a bit expensive. So with the anti-skating set, so it's playing, the needle should stay where you put it. And that is how you set up the arm. I hope I've done it enough detail. And now you can play music.